Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 172 of a year of change. Today we are going to look at something that's a little more versatile. Some of the stuff that we've done before has just been sort of snacking things and different vegetables and things like that. Originally I had planned on doing, not this, but I've heard of endive before, and people said, oh, you got to try it, it's very good. And it always looked like lettuce to me, but they said, no, it's a very delicate flavor, and you can go and try this and chop it up, and you can eat it raw. So I went out and bought some. I thought, oh, well, maybe I'll do that. And tried some, and it just tastes like unwashed lettuce, even after you wash it. There's a bitter taste to it, and apparently that's the appeal. So I don't really want to do that one because it tastes bad. I don't really want. I mean, there's different things you can put in, like in place of lettuce, if you're doing salads, like baby spinach and stuff like that. But I can't really do a whole video on that because that's, as you can see, I'm done. That would be it. So, what I decided to do last night, I ended up going and I bought some stuff. And this is basically just for those of you out there that are sort of, I don't want to kill animals because they're little fluffy faces and everything else, and I feel bad. Or too many of us out there that can get the way that I look by being vegetarian, but I suppose it's possible. So you might like this one, but this isn't for vegetarian means. This is, I should sort of actually expound, shouldn't I? Soy stuff. 2 or 3 different things that I normally will buy. So this is sort of for those of you, if you're like, I'm not vegetarian by a long shot. I like meat because it tastes good, and there's hamburgers, and there's chicken, and bacon. Oh my God, bacon. But I mean, and if I had to, I suppose I could do like just the fish and dairy and stuff like that. I could never go vegan. That's one of those things that you're just, it's a little too much. But for those of you out there that are going, no, I want to try it and see what it's like, this might be good for you. So, basically what this is, these are a couple of things that I normally buy anyway. And it's something a little different, and it's something that you're probably already going, but trust me, some of them are good. So the first thing that we're going to look at, actually, is tofu. This is the main thing that people think of when they think of, health food, or, maybe not health food, but soy stuff. So this is a piece of tofu. And you can see it breaks it sort of crumbly. There are a number of different types of tofu. Anytime I've ever had tofu prepared for me, it's just always been like really not good. I'm not going to barf, don't worry. For those of you with that sympathetic gag reflex, sorry. I will do it. I do know someone that if I did that, they're just but it's fine. Anyway, anytime I've ever had it prepared for me, it's always been, there's a number of different types that you can get, and there's one which is silk tofu, which is really, they say soft and creamy, but it's pretty much just like a bag of snot. I've had deep fried tofu. It was the very first time I ever tried it, which just was like deep fried snot. It was horrible every single time I've ever had it prepared. So I was really hesitant to try this the very first time. But I wanted, every few years I try it again, see, not just the tofu, but anything else. We talked about that before. Got to try new things. Otherwise, you're just going to be like a 5-year-old going, I don't like it. But you haven't tried it. I don't like it. Well, fucking starve then. Anyway, so this is actually extra firm tofu. And this is by far the best that I've been able to find. Different brands are going to be available wherever you are, which is why I'm not showing the actual brand. But it's got the same sort of texture as really firm cheddar cheese, just to give you a rough idea. So it's not a gross texture. Like, you can break it. See, it comes apart just like cheese. Same sort of thing. The thing is with tofu is that, and now I will preface this as well by saying this isn't a matter of going, you should eat tofu because it's really healthy for you and helps nature. When you really sort of take everything into account, really, like, if you say, okay, well, I want to look at, fat content and protein and everything else, chicken breast just blows this out of the water every single time. It is high in calcium, insanely high in calcium, but it's not even. I mean, none of the foods that we're ever going to look at here are going to be classified as superfood. So don't worry about that. This is just something different, an alternative that you can try that you might like it. I never thought I would, but I buy this on a regular basis anytime that I can. As it turns out, this was actually on sale last night, so it was good. So the main thing that I usually do with this is I'll just use this in place of a stir fry or in place of chicken in a stir fry. So it acts just like cheese. You can cube it. It doesn't melt. It will, if you fry it up, it will get like a crispy crust on it. I know this sounds kind of gross, but it actually isn't. The only thing is, though, that you do need to season it quite a bit. Because it takes on the flavor of whatever you're eating. The stuff that I get, as you can see, there are little bits in it. This is, I wouldn't recommend just getting plain tofu unless you're going to, try something brand new. But with this has like herbs and garlic or herbs and spices or something in it. And it's really, really good. So normally what I'll do is I'll break a chunk off or cut a piece off, break a chunk off. Just chip it out of the ice and it'll be fine. And just cube it up, throw it in, and I use that in place of chicken. Calorie-wise, pretty much the same. A little bit more than chicken, a little bit less than beef. It does have more fat in it than the chicken does, oddly enough. But plant fat, so we were talking about that this week. It's going to be a little bit different type of fat that's in there. Calories, protein, pretty much the same. Calcium, though, as I said, yeah, that's pretty much it. But it is a little bit different. I don't actually know if I've ever tried just a plain piece of tofu, because usually what I'll do is I'll fry it up. Yeah, it doesn't really taste like much. But it's something I would highly recommend that you try. Just to try something a little bit different, but get the extra firm. Oh, sorry, you can probably see that in my mouth. Get the extra firm stuff. It's the only one I've been able to find, really, that is food. You might like the softer stuff, but I haven't really enjoyed it. The other thing, too, when you get it, make sure that it's sealed up tight, because this is fermented bean curd. Really, all it is they basically just make cheese out of the soybeans and make it the exact same way. So when you buy it, if you find that if the package isn't airtight, or if it's a little swollen because it is fermented, and if you leave it long enough, then the package will start to swell because all the gas that's released, and then it smells like feet. Then don't buy it that way. Make sure you're getting a good one, because that way it's fresh. When it's fresh, it doesn't even smell like anything, even with all the herbs and spices. You can sort of smell like it's just a very bland smell. I thought I was going to barf, didn't you? But you'll know that it goes bad because as soon as you open it, it smells like just rancid cheese or feet. Something like that. It's got a very distinct smell to it. It takes a while to go, though, so there's usually a best before date. So just like anything else that you would get, do that. So that is tofu. I highly recommend that you try it. It's really good. It's not anything that's spectacular, but it's something that you can try, and you may like it, you may not like it, but at least you tried it. So as you're preparing this, I hear you say, but Pooh, what can we possibly use as a side dish to this wonderful new thing that you've shown me? Which is going to be mixed in with rice and everything else. Again, we're going to stick with the soybeans, because this is another thing that I buy on a regular basis. It's a bit of an expensive vegetable, I guess you would say, or a legume. Oh, that's the other thing. Before I go on to this, if you do have allergies to legumes, I don't know if peanuts would be included in there because they are a legume. Because every asshole in the world goes, peanuts aren't nuts. We know, fuck off. That if you have an allergy to it, double check with your doctor just in case, because this is a legume and the tofu is made from the curds of it. You might have a reaction. So. But anyway, forget all that for now. There is a thing that you can get, and it's called edamame. And some of you may have tried this before in a restaurant. Sometimes they'll bring it out for a snack, something like that, instead of bread before coming out. And that's all that it is, are these little tiny things. They are a bit more expensive than, I would say, peas. They're they're probably roughly the same. Like if you were to buy frozen green beans or string beans or something like that, or Brussels sprouts, I don't know why you would, but it's going to be roughly that. I mean, I got a fairly big bag like this I got mine on sale last night, but it's probably about $4 or $5. So it's not something you're going to be able to buy all the time, but it's nice to have something a little bit different. As far as the flavor goes, now these you can eat raw. See, you're fine. They have a taste that's somewhere in the best way I've been able to describe it to someone is somewhere in between a pea and a lima bean. Now, for those of you that hate lima beans, it tastes more like a pea than a lima bean, but it's really like almost dead center in between the two. So if you were to eat a handful of peas and a handful of lima beans at the same time, you go, oh, look at that, it tastes like a soybean. And basically all these are, you can buy them frozen, and they just come like this, just like peas or anything else. And you just prepare them just like peas. You boil them or steam them or however you do it and put in some salt and pepper and stuff like that. They don't really need a lot of butter in them because, for me anyway, normally you sort of have to add stuff in there. But if you really want to taste it, just a little bit of salt and pepper. And I mean, you can eat them raw. You can just boil them. Usually what I'll do is I'll boil them and I'll throw them in with the stir fry, sometimes even with the tofu and everything else, or with rice or whatever it is that you decide to get. Rice is not bad. Don't worry. It's okay. Although I did find out that not minute rice, but regular rice, if you cook that, that's, even though it's white, it's still considered a whole grain. I didn't know that until this weekend. Neat. So if you do have a rice cooker, or if, keep using it. If you don't, I highly recommend you get one. Not one of those things you're like, okay, you told us you weren't ever going to have to buy anything. I bought mine for like $20 and it wasn't even on sale. And I use it probably 2-3 times a week. It's essentially just an easy way of making real rice without it burning. You don't really have to worry about it. The only thing is I got mine, it doesn't have an off button. So as soon as I plug it in, it's on. And then you press the button down, like it's on warm, and then you press the button down to actually start everything up. But it's sort of like a bread maker for rice. Anyway, this is the edamame, and all these they're just soybeans. That's all they are. They say immature soybeans. I won't make any jokes, but, and they're a little slippery. But, yeah, if you don't like lima beans, I would still say give them a try, even if you just tried a few. Like, thaw them out, put them in some warm water, because you usually buy them frozen. Put them in some warm water for about 5 or 10 minutes and just try 1 or 2 raw to see what you like, because they don't really change their flavor. They just change. They get a little bit softer now when you boil them. But that's edamame. A bunch of those. There is item number 2. Those are 2 things that I get them basically. I lucked out because they were on sale, but generally, especially with the tofu, I'll just go, I really want some. And edamame is just something a little bit different, just so that you're not having the same like peas and carrots and broccoli and everything else sort of mixed in. Just something a little bit different that you can try. But here's the main thing, and this is going to be a first, because there is a third item that I personally have never tried. And where'd it go? There we go. And believe it or not, this is the smallest container they had. Soy milk. I've never tried it because I look at it and think it's bean juice, really. It's human bean juice. Some of you will get that. Anyway, it's one of those things. I mean, I'm not lactose intolerant or anything like that. For those of you that are lactose intolerant, just that you can't tolerate lactose. First of all, you're a bigot. And second of all, this is probably something that you're already drinking. But they had like almond milk and coconut and everything else. But I wanted to try this for the first time because I've never had it before. And it's one of those things that I think, I should probably try it. But this, believe it or not, is the smallest size that they had. Oh, there's the brand name as well. The reason why I chose this brand name, by the way, there were 3 or 4 different types that were there. But I've never had it, so I don't know. I have no frame of reference to go by. If it's something that I can go, okay, rum. I've tried a bunch of different rums. I know which ones are good. I know which ones are bad. Oh, no, I was going to say a brand, but they aren't going to send me anything free, so fuck it. Anyway, so I went through and I looked at 3 or 4 different sort of taste tests. And this one, out of all the brands that were available to me, this one was the top. It wasn't really the top spot, but it was usually around 4 for a position. The funny thing is, when they review these, it's not a matter of going, this is delicious. It's creamy, it's delightful, it's light and fluffy. The actual review said this was the one that offended our senses the least. Which is not a resounding, I was going to say resounding success. It's not a good review. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not a It didn't fill me with confidence. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, but I thought, okay, out of all the ones that are there, this is what I'm going to try. Now, the weird thing is, too, is that these were just on the shelf. Like, I'm very wary of any drink that is just sitting on the shelf and it says, oh, we're still good for a year. And I understand it's not the same as milk. There aren't going to be the same things in there, but it's just kind of weird. This is chilled now, so I'm okay. Because I figure it's a drink, it needs to be cold. So now when you're looking at it, like calorie-wise, and they pump a bunch of extra stuff in there, not like Franken milk things, but because it doesn't have the same stuff in it as milk would. They put in more, sodium and sugar and all the other stuff, not to a bad level, just enough that it's palatable. And then they put in a whole bunch of different vitamins and stuff like that. So it's mainly for people that just like, I don't want to drink milk. So, but I've never tried it before. So this one is still good for, almost 2 months. Why does it have a best before date? This was on a shelf. This is weird. This is on a shelf, not refrigerated, but it has a best before date. October 26, 2015. So we have about a month and a half. That's weird. Anyway. Lots and lots of shaky noises. So, I have never tried this before, so you're going to see this first. I might actually throw up then. I won't, don't worry. So, I'm going to pour myself a little bit of a glass, and we'll go from there. Oh, it's kind of yellow. Why am I pouring such a huge glass? I want to try something, just like fill up a glass. Might as well. All right, so we're going to put this down here. It looks like skim milk. A little bit, like 1% maybe. I don't know if you can see the color, but it's sort of a almost yellow like banana milk, but not quite. I got original because they had a bunch of different ones like chocolate and vanilla and everything else. And I want to see what it tastes like first, because then I can say, oh, yes, this would be good with vanilla. This would be good with chocolate. I don't think... Do they have strawberry? I don't remember if they had strawberry. I want to say that they did, but I don't think they did. Maybe I'm thinking of regular milk. Strawberry and banana. See, anytime I think of banana milk, I think, if you remember, if you're old enough, that... They might still do it now. They used to give you that penicillin, the banana-flavored penicillin. If it tasted like that, that would be great. You could just drink that instead of the milk, actually. You can overdose on penicillin, I think. It's a drug. Yeah, you can overdose on anything. Not saying overdose on... Anyway. All right, so it looks like milk that isn't quite white enough. So it looks like racist milk. It actually smells pretty good. It smells like it should have vanilla in it, but maybe it won't. I'm not going to drink that whole thing, probably. It might be very good. It might be very bad. I don't know. There's still milk bubbles-ish. Because they try to make it, I think, appear as much like milk as they can, because they throw in, there's the soybean juice and water and other stuff in there. It smells like melted ice cream, like just melted vanilla ice cream. It's not vanilla, is it? Did I fuck up and get vanilla? That's French. I don't understand you. There we go. No, it's just original fortified soy beverage. Organic. It's showing on cereal, so I could probably use this on cereal as well. Here we go. Before I try this, ingredients. Water. Whole organic soybeans. Cane sugar. Okay, that makes sense. Sea salt. All right. Carrageenan. Whatever the fuck that is. Natural flavors. Acidity regulator. Sodium bicarbonate. Baking soda. Just say baking soda. Don't say acidity regulator. Anti-foaming agent. Organic, which is made up of organic soybean oil and silicone dioxide. Jesus. Allergen statement. Contains soy. May contain almond coconut. Okay, well, maybe that's what I'm smelling. No, not really. Vitamins and minerals. Calcium carbonate. Zinc gluconate. Vitamin A. Palmitate. Vitamin D2. Riboflavin. B2. Vitamin B12. Yay. Sounds like bingo. Anyway, there's quite a bit of stuff in there. They try to make it as nutritious as milk, so we're going to see... we're going to see what happens when I try this. I bet this is what it's like the first person to ever try cow's milk. They're like, I'm going to drink whatever comes out of those dangly things. brave little fucker, whoever they were. But yeah, they probably just like, we're going to try it and see what happens. And then they went, you would be great with this? Ice cream and chocolate. All right. So it smells okay. That's the main thing. It's kind of yellowy, but we're going to try it and see where it goes. I'm a little more positive about this than I was going to be originally because for some reason, I assume it's just going to taste weird. It's probably will taste weird. But anyway, okay. So I think the key is to not think of it as being milk. It's a soy beverage. So as long as I'm not expecting a milk flavor, I should be okay. All right. Anyway, here we go. Try everything twice. I was kind of, yeah. Okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a mixture of just like something. I don't know why I was expecting it to be so bad. Because the tofu's okay, the edamame is good, but it's just because it's the milky thing. You're like, it's going to taste like yak ass mixed with badger scrotum and a little hint of skunk milk to the side. But no, it's not. It's one of those things that I'm thinking, I'm not going to waste it. I will definitely drink it. It probably would be very good on cereal. This is interesting, though. It doesn't have the consistency of milk. Has a consistency of skim milk or 1%. But I could drink this in place of milk, and it would be okay. I'm pleasantly surprised. I actually thought this was going to be much, much worse. And this is just a regular one. So vanilla in there. It has the same sweetness level as milk. Like if you had whole milk, like the 3%. If you had that, like how it's not really sweet, but it's that sweetness level. That's about where the sweetness level is. It sort of tastes like milk, but not really. It tastes like an oddly flavored milk, but not in a bad way. I would buy it again, actually. Neat. So we've learned something new. It does not taste like skunk milk, which is good. Always a plus whenever you're trying to drink a fluid. It's just it looks thicker than it tastes, if that makes any sense. When you're looking at like regular real milk, not 2%, but the 3 1/4 or whatever it is, or homogenized or whole milk. How you can tell that, like when you taste it, you're like, yeah, it's thick. It tastes like that. This looks like that, but it has the texture of like 1% milk. It's really weird, but it's good. You know what? I would definitely buy it again. It's much better cold, I'm guessing. This would probably be horrible if it was warm. So if you do buy it, chill it first before you do anything. But yeah, we have learned something new, and I have had a drink of soy beverage, but it's sort of milky soy. We'll see what the ramifications are from that tomorrow. But yeah, it's pretty good. I would end up, the fat content is pretty much, like everything's pretty much the same as regular milk, like with protein and fat and everything else. But where this is plant-based, I think, let me double check to see, because we already looked at this on Sunday. Saturated fat, 0.5 grams. Trans fat, 0. Of course, why would you? Look at this. They're all unsaturated fats. So there's 0.5 gram of saturated fat. The saturated fat, which is unsaturated fat, which is the ones that we want, because they have less hydrogen atoms on them. Atoms, never mind. So monosaturated, this is in 1 cup, by the way. So saturated fat is 0.5 grams. Monosaturated, 1 gram. Polyunsaturated, 2.5 grams. And out of that, there's the 0.3 of omega-3, which we talked about, that we do need because our body can't produce it, so we have to get it from food. And omega-6, which is just the 6th position down, 2 grams. So if we were looking at our fat content, we aren't drinking gallons and gallons and gallons of milk, I hope anyway. Not that milk is bad, but you shouldn't be drinking gallons and gallons of anything. Except water, maybe. Or rum. But where that is sort of animal-based, that's where you're going to get a lot of saturated fat. And I should have prepared for this and looked how much saturated fat was going to be in milk. But this is going to be the unsaturated stuff. And then the omega stuff. So, you know what? Nutritionally, this is probably going to be okay. There's about 100 calories in a cup. And actually, now that I think about it, that's less than the milk I normally buy. So this is probably a smarter choice, and it's one that I would definitely, it actually says on it, shake well and buy often. It's one that I would actually buy again. Uh-oh. What's that? Oh, okay. I thought it said, like, not approved by the FDA or the Canadian version of it. It says non-GMO product verified. I saw those little labels like non-something. Like, what the fuck did I just drink? It's like, surprise, this isn't regulated at all. It is, though. Certified organic, which I don't really care about. Not to be used as infant formula. So if there are any infants watching, you shouldn't be drinking this. But bravo for understanding what I'm saying. Well done. And it says it'll stay fresh 7 to 10 days after opening. Okay, well, I've opened it, so I've got a week to drink this. Good times. And, hey, it's from Colorado. Neat. Anyway, that's all the information that's on this one. I haven't tried the other brands, but I can understand why this one, like, if this is 4th, that's still not bad, because it's usually, like, out of 10. But yeah, I would buy this again. I think I actually might, once I finish this off. I don't know if I would try the vanilla or the chocolate. I'm not a big fan of chocolate milk to begin with. The vanilla, I think, might be too sweet, because I'm not a big flavored milk kind of person, and I want to say they have strawberry and banana, but I think I'm wrong. But anyway, there we go. Those are 3 things, and it's all from the same little plant, soybeans. So try those. It's something a little bit different. I'm sure you can find a smaller container of soy milk. Just try the regular stuff to begin with. If you just absolutely hate milk, it doesn't really taste like milk though. So try it anyway, just the plain one. And if you don't like it, throw some chocolate syrup in there and make it a chocolate one and try it again. And that'll give you an idea as to whether or not you would like the chocolate stuff. I assume it's okay to go a little bit over that way. But try that. Try the tofu next time that you're doing a stir fry, something like that. And if you do have the time, just to sort of make sure it's seasoned properly and everything else, do you have the time? It cooks the same way as chicken does. And then for a vegetable, try the edamame, which is just the soybeans themselves. You don't need a lot of flavoring with it, but it would kind of, they mix in really well with rice and chicken and everything else. Anyway, yeah, those are 3 different products, and I've tried something new. You've been a witness to it, and it turned out well. I didn't throw up at all. So there you go. All that worry for nothing. So anyway, that's it. We've probably gone way over, and we've been looking at this stuff for half an hour, but it's okay because we learned something new. We have something new that I can try. I'm going to finish this one off tonight, and or next week, or this week, or tomorrow. I'm not going to throw it back in the today. I'm going to finish this one. Actually, probably just have it. Or no, I'll have it with cereal. There we go. So it doesn't go to waste. Anyway, for right now, though, thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please poke the like button for me. In the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.